Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And today we go with California recently released. You know, wines that are just kind of hitting the market, or maybe been out for a little bit, but new wines to Wine Library that have big press from California. You know, it's Thanksgiving week, Mott. You guys, it's Thanksgiving week, and I felt, you know, we need to go a little Americana. And, you know, to be honest with you, I just want to taste these wines because they're hot. They're wines that I have great respect for. I've been a long-time friend and follower and buyer of Trilogy. I started buying it with the 91 vintage. I mean, 16 vintages. I'm getting old. I'm getting real old. That hurt. And then two wines from Lewis. Randy Lewis, famous race car driver, now makes some of the most sought-after wines. And as a matter of fact, Mott, give me the big-ass glass. I mean, this is just...
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know what we were thinking about. Get this out. This is a big-ass glass kind of episode. And so, first and foremost, I hope everybody has a tremendous Thanksgiving. I'm going to be airing the Thanksgiving episode tomorrow for you because a lot of people have been asking for Wednesday night stuff. So we'll put that up around 5, 6, 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. Obviously, you can taste along with me on Thursday, as many of you like to do. And that's that. So, big week coming up. Jets playing on Thanksgiving night. Please be rooting for me. And also, let's root for the Lions. Let's go Lions. They play the Patriots. So, we'll be paying close attention to that game as well. Let's start this episode with a very interesting wine, Merlot. Luna, 2006 Merlot. 100% Merlot, aged for 20 months in oak. Sourced mainly from Howell Mountain and Stagecoach Vineyard and a little bit from Carneros. This wine is really fascinating to me for a couple of reasons. One, it is $16. So it's very well priced in comparison to the $40, $54, and $74 wines that we have in this episode. Two, I think we've all been together a long time now and have all been passionate about wine. And if not, hey, CKCs, that stands for the College Kid Crew. Big shout out to you guys. Haven't done that in a while. Young Dave, a little shout out for Young Dave. Come on, who else should we give a shout out to? Dominus, I think, is a great one. Anybody else stand out?
Alan?
Alan, I agree. Alan is doing some good work in there. Real good work in there. I love Glenn. Wine Crazy. You know, he's Randy in the city. I love that. Anyway, what's that?
Yeah, Randy.
So, big shout out to all of you. A lot of you guys are commenting, and it means a lot to me. But this is 16 bones, and it's 92 points. Stephen Tanzer, one of the toughest critics in the world, to go this high on this wine is staggering. Now, first thing I smell is holy crap face. This smells like there is a forest fire. I truly feel like Smokey the Bear is going to come out and be like, hey kids, be careful for, you know, like, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Luna Merlot, this is pretty darn, the oak monster is in full effect. 20 months shows. This is heavily oaked on the nose, and you get all the kind of, you know, nuances of that nutmeg, a little vanilla kind of thing going on. There's some black cherry coming through, but let's be honest. Hacksaw, Jim Duggan? Yep. Ho! I mean, this almost smells like Hacksaw took his 2x4 and is just smashing the poor cherry trees. They've got no shot. Wow, this is oaky. This is almost uncomfortable. I feel like, you know, uncomfortable. Let's give it a whirl. Wow. Wow. Wine's rallying a little bit on the palate. Good firm structure. Really nice taste. You don't hear me just say that often. It's just got this great sensibility. I really like this cranberry component that's kind of bouncing on the initial flavor profile. It is oaky. I mean, and there's clearly the vanilla and cedar kind of thing going on. Little cedar box. Thick, viscous. Nice tannins. Well made, actually. Well structured. It's a little too oaky for my palate, but that shouldn't keep you guys away. I think a lot of people would enjoy this wine. And I guess Ray Isle, or one of the episodes recently, people talked about the styles they like, the wines they like. And I noticed a lot of people were into different styles and a lot of California love. And I think that there's a lot of people here who would enjoy this. In general, this is a fairly decent wine. Too oaky for my palate, but I like it. I mean, to me, this is an 88-point wine. It's a nice, solid wine, $16. A good showing for a solid bottle of Merlot. And, you know, nothing to shake a stick at. Not my cup of tea. It's all based on individual palate. Let's respect it for it being well made and structured. Just not exciting enough to overpower the really heavy reliance on oakiness that this wine is having. That bothers me a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. All right, so not the greatest start to the show, but let's see if we can rally here. Flora Springs Trilogy 2007, 74% Cabernet, 21% Merlot, and 5% Petit Verdot, 93 points. Robert Parker, $40 American dollars. So I like this back to basics style. Big ass glass, 4 wines. That's really back to basics. That was the original kind of number at some level. So let's see what Trilogy's got and how it's bringing it. Now, Flora Springs Trilogy is one of my favorite wines for a long time. 91 was amazing. 94 was one of my favorite wines. 97 was super hot. 2001. It's a very hot blend wine from California. Always well priced. Still is. $40, I think, is fair. It's got this great nose route. So very Bordeaux-like on the nose, and maybe that's that Petit Verdot. But I like the kind of, there's a lot less oak coming through on the nose, which is enticing. Little spruce kind of thing going on, little forest floor, little earthiness, believe it or not, little red fruit, black fruit. I like the nose. The nose is kind of appealing. Nice job, Flora Springs. Let's give this a shot. This is good. Very dark. Wow, great firm tannins. Almost like blueberry pie with a kick. I don't mean like you're eating a piece of blueberry pie and then take a shot of vodka. I mean like really nice, delicious, firm tannins. Wow, this is actually even better than I thought it was going to be. It's been a couple vintages since I've really thought and dug into a Flora Springs like this. I haven't done Trilogy that much on the show, and I gotta tell you, I'm a pretty big fan of this. This is very, very good. Dare I say a little Bordeaux-like. It's extremely balanced while still having a beautiful California sensibility. Great fruit, just this beautiful, you know, luscious, almost like very delicious, full plump blackberries. You eat blackberries? I'm a big fan. You?
Yeah.
I mean, this tastes like, you know, beautiful, pure, like artisan blackberry juice. I mean, it's got just great flavors. I'm a huge fan of it. Good fruit. Yeah, I think Parker nailed it. This is a big wine. I'm gonna score 93 points. It's blowing me away. One of the better California red blends I've had in a long time. I like this a lot. You know, serve it with steak. Put it away for, you know, 7 to 15 years easily with the way it's showing with the firm structure. Good job. Good job. All right, let's move on. Let's do a little rinse. Now, this is a very interesting wine. I've been a pretty big fan in the past. This is the Lewis Alex Blend. This is the 2008 Lewis Cellars Alex Blend, $54 US, 94 points Wine Spectator, 74% Syrah, 18 Merlot, and 8 Cabernet. So predominantly a Syrah-based wine, as you can tell by the bottle shape. I'm really interested to see what happens here. I've been a long-time fan of Alex Blend. Let's see what's going on here. Sniffy sniff. Very ripe raspberry flavors coming through, actually. Big fruit. Very juicy. Only 1,000 cases produced of this wine. Smells nice, actually. Big red fruit, almost pomegranate-like. Really nice. Very vibrant. You can almost smell the sunshine. Let's give it a whirl. First initial thought is much like the first wine. It's a little oaky for me. There's a little more oak than I like to see. Now, this is extremely young. 2008 red wine of this caliber and pedigree. It's amazing how the wine thinks. I was going to say caliber and pedigree, but because I was already, I guess that's how the brain works, I said calibri, which is a new word that I'd like to define. Calibri. It means caliber and pedigree together in one. So, you know, very young from a wine of this calibre. And so you've got to give it the benefit of the doubt. But the oak is coming across pretty aggressively. I'd like to see it calm down over subsequent age in the cellar, and I think that would happen and is probably where it's going to go. That being said, it does bother me a little bit in today's moment, which is when I'm tasting it. Little gaminess coming through, which I like. Very creamy. I mean, it really tastes like an upscale artisan coffee. I do get that kind of flavoring from it. It's got a little bit of a Starbucks, Pete's, Seattle coffee kind of sensibility to it, because there is this coffee vanilla bean kind of thing going on. Nice wine. Doesn't completely crush me. I dramatically prefer the Trilogy over the Lewis. I'm going to score it. It's good. I'm going to score it 89 points. And at 54 bones, you'd have to question if you want to drop a half a hundo on this wine. That being said, Parker 94 points. Oh, excuse me, Wine Spectator 94 points. It's a big score, and it needs to be respected. Lauby, has his own palate. I have my own palate. We all do. So you've got to check for yourself. I think a lot of people would like this style, and that's fine. But to me, it's a little bit overdone, a little bit too much makeup. Looking for a little bit more natural beauty, if that makes sense. Let's move on. Let's move on to another Lewis wine. And this is their signature wine at some level, I guess. I'm going to rinse with that. This is their 2008 Cabernet from Napa, 100% Cabernet. Hillside Vineyards in Calistoga and Oak Knoll, 2,000 cases produced. This wine is 74 American dollars and is rated 93 points by the Wine Spectator. 74 is a great number. It is Nick Mangold's number, one of my favorite Jets. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Big fruit. Very focused, dark, black fruit. Plum is the first thing that comes to mind. Little cedar. Nice nose. Very focused. Not as overbearing as the Alex blend with the oak. This is much more integrated. Little kirshiness. Let's give it a whirl. I like the smell a lot. Wow. I should do more shows with a lot of wines from a winery, because I'm very fond of the Lewises. I've met them a lot of Lauber wine tastings. Lauber is the distributor that sells it, so I've met them through the years at their events. And I felt bad about beating up this wine, because I might have even been nice with 89. But to follow it up with this, and it really has nothing to do with, because I'm actually a little bit more, and anybody who's watched the show knows I'm a bigger Syrah fan probably than Cabernet fan. Though Syrah's getting killed in the wine world in general. There's just a lot of it out there. This is so well made. I mean, this is so balanced, so structured, big fruit, massive Cabernet, but has that whole... This is a throwback wine, as a matter of fact. That's what I'm going to say. This reminds me of the 1991 and 1995 vintage California Cabernets that I think are really creme de la creme. I know 94 and 97 get a lot of press, but I'm telling you, you get into the trenches of the people in the know that are really tasting this stuff on a regular basis. I think 91 and 95, especially 95, is a vintage that really signifies the high quality. K-Murph, everything cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Just keys, got it. 95 is a vintage that really, give K-Murph a little camera time. They love her.
Oh boy. Hi folks.
Anything to say about Cabernet? K-Murph, I'm talking Cabernet. Just in general.
Yeah.
What's your life like with Cabernet these days?
What's my life like? Kind of blah on it.
Right.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I like more interesting things. I like to discover and explore.
Got it.
That's
So
just
Cabernet,
kind of
Cabernet was a starting point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think anybody watching the show knows that I've probably gone through that phase as well. But I think quietly, I don't know if you've been noticing, I've been kind of doing Cabernet a little bit more favors lately. I feel like I very much... Are you looking for my keys?
Yeah.
Are they over there in the corner? No, I think they're in that corner all the way left of the screen. Got them?
Sorry guys.
I think in general, Cabernet's been making a little bit of comeback with my own palate. I think what Kay Murphy just said, I've been going through for like almost 4 years now, it feels like. But all of a sudden, I'm starting to kind of come back, especially the high quality Napa Cab, and this wine is singing to me. And this is not a makeup score by any stretch of the imagination, because I think you guys know, I really don't care. My responsibility is to you, and I love the Lewises, but they're going to do just fine, even if I scored these a 1 on my little tiny wine show. So, spectacular stuff. I'm going to score this wine 95 points. I think this is one of the better wines we've had on the show this year, and it's late. We're into late November, early December, and I really like this. This wine is really, really good. Showing tremendously well. Great nose. Continues to open up. Very candy, very fruity, but not overbearing and gloppy, and very focused on the palate. Spectacular. 15.5? Shocking. 15.5 and holds it together tremendously, like a big diesel wrestler in a suit. You can't tell that it's all like steroid out like crazy. Keeps it together. That's what this wine does. Holds in this enormous amount of flavor with good structure. This wine's almost like good parenting. Just good structure, foundation. 95 points. Go out and find this. This will be widely available, in my opinion, in top steak restaurants. Smith & Wolinski's, Peter Luger's, just kind of Ruth's Chris. Those kind of places tend to carry high-end Napa Cab. I think you can find the Lewis 2008, and if you do, you should try it. And it's drinking shockingly well now. This wine will age tremendously over probably the next 2 decades. Good show. I felt tight. I felt like I picked up some rally there. Question of the day. California. What is your California wine of the moment? And if you don't have one, and I've been pushing this show to try wines outside of California for 5 years, so I'm sure it moved a lot of you away. If you don't have a wine of the moment from California, though I want that, as a B, what is your favorite all-time California wine of the moment? Was there ever a time you were just addicted, like a crackhead, to Silver Oak, or Chateau Montelena, or Rudd, or, Ramey, or, Insignia? I'd like to know that. Newton. That's what I'd like to know. Was looking for, like, some awkward silence just for kicks and giggles. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world.